Hey everyone, this is Laura of Lightroom and Photography and also one of your admins for the Snap Society. I just wanted to show you today how I would do some dodging and burning. I love this technique because I think it's a really great way to just kind of bring out some features for your clients. It just kind of really helps things pop and whatnot, so I'm just kind of going to show you how I do that with this particular maternity image here. So this is the image that I started with, and I used my preset depths and I made some adjustments. I'm not going to go through all of that today, but this was the final edit before doing any dodging and burning. So I'm going to show you that now, and really she doesn't need a lot. The edit itself and just the way that the light was hitting her already created some really great dimensions in her skin, but I'm still going to show you how to just make it pop a little bit more. First, I'm going to show you in Lightroom. So what I'm going to do is go over here to my little adjustment brush, and I'm going to go to Burn, which is Darken. And you can zoom in a little bit. I'm doing that by hitting Command, as I am on a Mac, and the plus button. And what I want to do whenever you're burning is you just want to play where the shadows already are. So for instance, under her chin, I'm just kind of going to drag that here. And I'll turn this on and off so you can kind of see the difference that made. You can see that it really just made her jawline pop a little bit more. If I wanted, I could go over to my adjustment and I could make it a little less drastic or really drastic, depending on what you wanted. I don't necessarily suggest that. It might make it a little bit more obvious, but nice subtle adjustment I think is really great. And also, as maybe you know, maybe you don't, but when you are contouring your own face for makeup, ladies might know this, men, I'm sorry, you probably don't, but what you're trying to do is really just get your features to pop a little bit more. So naturally, you would kind of put a little bit here, kind of right underneath the jawbone there. So just so that you know, because this particular line here is too dark for me, while this one is good. So I'm going to undo that by hitting Command or Control if you're on a PC, and the letter Z. And I'm going to hit a new brush. So I like this line here, so I'm going to hit a new brush, and I'm going to create just this brush here for under her cheekbone. And then I'm going to decrease it a little bit so that it's not as prominent right there. And I'm also going to hit another new one. So another place you could do it is right where you see this shadow coming in here on her neck. I probably wouldn't make it that dark, so just slightly. You can also do it right here on her collarbone. And I'm going to grab a new one again. If I wanted, I could darken right here by her arms. Lighten that up a little bit. And then even where this line comes in on her belly. And again, where the shadow is hitting her thigh, here and there. Now for the highlight, so I'm going to hit New again. The highlight, I'm going to go to Dodge. You really just want to go wherever the highlights are naturally hitting, like here on her neck. You could do here on her arm, here on her leg, in between the jawline and the cheekbone. So here and even under the eye. Reduce that a little bit. Go right down here. Make my brush a little bit bigger. Come down the arm. Make my brush bigger again. Come down the thigh. And even round on the belly. And I'll show you a little bit what it's like without and with. And you can really see that it's really just kind of made her features pop a little bit more than it was before. So now I'm going to bring you into Photoshop and show you how I would do it in there. Okay, so here we are back in Photoshop. And I'm going to zoom in, and first thing I want to do is create a duplicate of my background. This is always number one because I don't want to work on my background. You can do so by clicking and dragging to the piece of paper here, or you can do so by hitting Command or Control if you are on a PC, and the letter J. So over on your tool bar over here, you can right click and you'll see the options for dodge, burn, and a sponge tool. First I'm going to start with burn. You'll see that my range is for the midtones, my exposure is 20%, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit and adjust my brush as needed. So again, I'm going to go over those same spots, but because of where my settings are for this, if I want it to be darker, I'm just going to keep going. And I can see how that looks and how drastic or subtle it is. I'm going to make my brush bigger and go right under the cheekbone there. And I'm going to go down the arm and zoom out a little bit. I'm going to go down the leg. And I think we'll go again right here in that collarbone on either side of her neck there. And we'll see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good. So the next step is going to be to dodge. This, again, I have midtones. It's set at 50%, but I think I'm going to turn this down to about 30%. I'm going to adjust my brush. We're going to go right under the eye, right along that jawline, down her neck here. I might even go right on that collarbone on the opposite side, down her arm, down her leg, and over her belly. And that's really about it. In the end, this is completely personal and up to you and what you think looks right, just so that we can see the before and after. We can see how that really kind of made her features pop a little bit more, and in my opinion, it's finished. I hope that you got some good information out of this, and as always, if you have any questions, be sure to ask.